Good morning, and welcome to wintry Winnipeg. Yeah, well, first of all, I want to apologize for yesterday's episode. It just did not go well for me. However, we're going to do better today. I've got quite a long rollback, and the rollback includes all the footage that we missed in yesterday's episode. It sort of helps to explain how we got to this place here. It's probably worth watching if you're into model making, or if you're following my series and got nothing else to do. In the bottom of the screen, however, I will put where you can scrub ahead to jump to when I say, well, it's morning. Which I haven't done yet. I haven't shot that scene yet. Okay, let's not waste a whole lot of time here talking about the fact that I put out fresh carrots, or the fact that the sun came up about, I'm guessing 15 minutes ago or more. Let's just roll back and watch what we missed in yesterday's episode. Okay, what I'd like to do here this afternoon, while I'm waiting for this second coat of the 66? Which one here? Yeah, this is the 66, and this is the 77. I've got two coats of each of these on now, and I'm just waiting for them to dry completely. Then I'm going to take the deck tan and go around and touch up where I accidentally got the gray over top of the deck tan, but I think that's going to cover up pretty good. And anyway, what I want to do is I want to see if I can salvage some of the footage that we lost yesterday when I was messing around and somehow lost the sound in about 10 minutes worth of video. Some of it was interesting, some of it wasn't. And it's going to, of course, you're going to be watching, things out of order, but I don't know. Yeah, I hope this doesn't happen very often. Okay, so I've been giving this some thought, which would be a change, and I want to paint the parts in order. In other words, I think that the way to go is to paint the outside hull last, because I'm going to be handling it by the hull to try and paint all the details on the upper parts. And where's my pointer here? You'll notice that there's ribs on the bottom of this, not ribs, but planking, I guess you'd call it. And I want to try and maybe use the panel line again. Now, because in all likelihood I'm going to end up getting panel line on the thwarts as I'm trying to poke it down in there, I want to paint the thwarts after I put down the panel line. Doesn't that make sense? It does to me anyway. And the same thing with this. I want to paint the bottom of this something. I don't know what. Maybe the deck tan. The smokestack, as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, I'm going to be painting the 56 because I think it'll look okay, and maybe also these air intakes right here. I think you should be able to see those even though you're zoomed back a bit. Can't put the macro lens on for everything. Okay, that might be the 56. I think they'd look good in the 56. They'd contrast anyway. Now the hull will be the 19. The same as we did the outside of those smaller boats, and all the hulls on the outside will be the 19. The superstructure here will probably be the 66, the same as what most of all the other superstructure is going to be. In other words, the same as what the turrets that we did yesterday are. Not the barrels, but the turrets. They were the 66. Now this paint here, A few minutes ago, less than half an hour ago actually, I got curious. What was it that I used this for on the Titanic? Now, you may not know it, but back in the 80s, I made a 1/350 scale Titanic. It was at that time it was put out by the Entex people. I'm not sure who's doing it now, if anybody. And yeah, so I made this, and this is a number 62. In case somebody wonders what number is this. So I went down. I took my point and shoot down, and I snapped some pictures. And it turns out it was the benches on the deck of the Titanic. That's what I'd used this for back in the early 80s, I guess. Yeah, long time ago. Back when I had hair. Yeah. Yeah, I had dark curly hair. Hard to believe, but I did. Anyway, let's recompose here and see if we can't maybe do something. Maybe the thing to do is we'll start out trying to get some of the panel line accent color down in the bottom here. I'll use the dark brown again. And yeah, let's just stop flapping my lips and start doing something here. Now I'm going to want to be careful here because I had forgotten that these ones here that I'd mounted on the blob of blue tack, they had that little tiny photo etch propeller that we put on the bottom. You can hardly see it. And that's why I had it on the blue tack. So I just want to put it on a rotating block here. I think I'll be able to keep it in position a lot better for the camera. At least that's the plan. Okay, I'm going to try and get the applicator in between the ribs here, or the thwarts rather, and just touch the bottom. There, you can see it's going pretty good, and then we'll just let it slosh around in there. Now, that's probably too much, but you know, if I take this thing off of here and then go back and forth and all around, at least that's the plan here, it should sort of even itself out. Like I say, that's the plan. But maybe it's not going to work out the way I planned. Let's see how it's coming. I think that when that dries, it's just my uneducated opinion here. I mean, what do I know? I think that's going to be okay. It would have been nice if the gray along the upper side didn't look so plasticky, but on the other hand, most of the time it's going to be viewed like that. So I think once that dries, it's going to be all right. It is a little bit heavy there. You can see it against the side there. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Oh, it got itself on here. Now, I don't know if I dare try to get that out. Where's one of Tennessee Jim's mini Q-tips? Yeah, that sort of helped a little bit. That way it's going to be less, the paint will stick a little better there, because I do believe that this pan line color, accent color, leaves a bit of a greasy residue. And I could be wrong. See if maybe I can absorb some of that. Mind you, no one's going to see it anyway. Nobody's going to see it. Ron, stop worrying about it. I did the other one much the same way. I think for normal viewing, it's kind of believable. I'm happy anyway. Now, it's too late to try and remove this upper part of the deck from the hull. It's glued in too solidly. But it seems to me that somebody suggested that I paint the inside of the hull before I glue this down, where they asked me, are you going to do that? Or anyway, I didn't. So if I'm going to paint the inside here, I've got to try and do it with this glued on. And it's just going to be hard to get a nice even job. I'm just sort of trying to see how it's going to go. Now, I know that I'm going to be getting it on the thwarts here. It just can't be helped. I might be able to wipe a lot of it off, but it doesn't matter. I'll be painting the top here, probably the deck tan. I'm not sure yet. And then right here, you can see it's kind of ribbed. I might use panel-line color on that, and also here. Seems to me we did on some of the other boats that we painted. What was it? It was for the Hood. That's right. Some of the Hood's boats that worked out really well after it had been painted. And also, I think we put panel-line color along the bottom on some of those. Just let it sort of accent. But well, anyway, let's worry about that when we get to it. I think probably the 66 here would be the one to use. Either that or else something a lot darker, like I want it to contrast. You see, that's the thing. I want whatever I use up here, I want to be a very distinct contrast from what is down here. At least that's my thinking. Okay, here's the latest. I am not going to paint the inside of the bottom. I'm just going to leave it bare plastic. It is already very similar to the 19 that's going to be on the outside of the hull. That probably it will give the illusion of being the same. And what I'm going to do here on the inside of the you might call it the motor well or whatever. I'm going to paint it the 77 because it'll be darker. And I still haven't decided yet about we should be looking at some drawings that Carlo did and see what color did somebody who knows a lot more than I do about what these boats actually once were. Yeah, let's find that book. Now, these two boats here, these two pictures here, probably of the same boat. They're the ones we did, what was it, a couple of weeks ago now? And you can see that they were basically wood. Now, for the larger boats, he didn't go into too much detail here. I'll find these in the computer and we'll take a better look. But I was surprised to see that the roofs on the steamboat one, whatever you call it, was actually wood planking. So we'll be painting the top of the roof right here brown. Why not? Okay, let's find these in the computer so that you can see them better. Now, the first thing that strikes me when I look at these pictures is that there was a lot of natural wood. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been natural. It was probably varnished. Yeah, a lot of wood. Not too much paint if you're looking, at it from the top. Now that I'm thinking of it, I think there is a photo or a drawing taken of the entire ship where you're looking straight down on these boats. And yeah, then we'll just sort of see what did it look like if you were to look straight down on it. Sort of the way we're going to be when it's in its case. Well, as it turns out, this is the drawing that I was thinking of, and it was one of the few In fact, this is probably the only page that I missed, except for maybe the first one just inside the cover. Yeah, I don't know how I missed this one, but there's four pictures on it, and this is one of them. And yeah, looking straight down in the boats here, you can see we're looking at mostly wood, except for the center right here and this one. So yeah, even these other ones here, where the engine is, like these are motor launches, and even the engine cover is wood, at least in the drawing. How it was on the real ship, who knows? And it could be over the life of the Rodney. There was several different types. I could be wrong, but I think these steam powered ones were called a picket. Yeah, and they were about 50 feet long. Gives you an idea of the size of the ship when you realize that, this is a 50-foot boat. The Rodney was a pretty good size. Okay, that's about the best I can do. Okay, here's the plan. Now, it might not be a good plan, but it's all I've got at the moment. I'm going to go around the top here with the deck tan. And if I get it over on the top of the gunnels, that's okay, because then when I do the number 19 gray, when I come up the sides, I can go over the edge and go 19 all the way along the top. I think a lot easier than if I was to try and have the 19 painted right now and just come up this way and stop when I got to it. At least that's what I'm thinking here. So this might well be another mistake. It could be that I'm going to end up having to do two coats here. I don't know, because I'm using the thinned version of the deck tan. And I'm probably going to end up turning the camera off because you're making me nervous. Okay, now just go on the inside of the hull here like this. Now you can see there that I am getting it up where I'm going to want to later have, where I'm going to later want to have the 19. But that's all right. I'm pretty sure the 19 will cover over this. This is fairly light. Now for the inside where the motor is, like the flooring and so on, well, I don't know yet. Should it be a little bit darker, or should it be the deck tan as well? I'm starting to pool it on. I didn't want to do that. Now this is the thinned deck tan, and it was thinned for the airbrush last time I used it on something. So that's why I was saying I might need two coats here. I know from your angle, you can't really see the inside of the gunnel there, but I can't really come in the other way. At least not easily, that is. Now when this dries, it does shrink wrap pretty good. Yeah, I think it's probably going to need two coats. just want to make sure it doesn't drip down on the bottom of the hull there. I should be playing or inserting some sort of a painting music right now. Like UK Jason does in his videos. He inserts music. He's getting pretty crafty with his productions. Okay, I think I'm just going to let this dry here and see how it looks. Then maybe I'll go over it again. At least it looks like I tried to do something. Now, like I say, I don't know what I'm going to do about the inside down there. I don't think deck tan is appropriate. For instance, this thing that I'm almost touching right now, that is clearly an exhaust pipe with a little muffler on it. At least that's what I think it is. It wouldn't be the propeller shaft, because the propeller shaft is center line with the. Anyway, okay. I keep wanting to touch it in places, but you know what? I'm just going to let it dry and then go over it again, and then we'll look at it. Now I can honestly say that I did not realize how much video we had lost. That is, well, you're wondering how come you're hearing it. Well, it's because I still had the raw files that were in the camera, so to speak. But when I'd lost the sound when I dragged them into the editor, and I just didn't have time to re-edit everything. Or maybe I just didn't feel like it. Anyway, we finally got it. Now, on Pizza Day, which was yesterday, I did make a pizza after I uploaded 1150. And yeah, I made a pretty big one. And unfortunately, I ate quite a bit of it. And if you want to know what's in it, well, what you can see there is on the top is olives and mushrooms and mozzarella cheese. And then there was a combination of 3 meats. There was chicken, ground beef, and pork. Yeah, and what else they put it? Oh yeah, tomato pizza sauce, and I think that's it. And then the pizza dough, of course. Anyway, gave it about half an hour in the oven and at 400 degrees, and what you see is what you get. And you'll probably see a piece of that in the next Pizza Day. And I'll try not to forget. I genuinely forgot yesterday. Sorry about that. Well, we did get Pizza Day in, didn't we? And it's actually still Pizza Day. We are still in the rollback. And what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to take our deck tan and see if I can carefully go and get rid of just stay on the top of the roof. I'm probably going to have to do this twice. And I've got the roofs on both of these. What did Jack call them? Was it a picket, or did I call it a picket? No, I don't want to let my brush go over the edge and down the side, or I'm going to have to do the gray again. You know, I think I better turn the camera off and just do this carefully, and we'll take a look at them in the morning. So, yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Well, it is morning, and I wonder how many of you scrubbed ahead to this point, and you missed all the good stuff. Okay, I did do second and in some places third coats. I think the roof here might have got 3 coats, but everything else got at least 2. And I think I did it pretty good. It's I'm not going to put the macro lens on, because then you're going to see that there's the odd place where maybe I got a little bit too far out on the deck with the gray, or maybe I went part way up the gray with the deck tan. But at normal viewing distance, they actually look quite good, I think. Now, what I'm going to want to do now is mount these blocks maybe on their side somehow. I'm probably going to have to do this off camera, but you see these little air vents here, and it's going to be really hard to come down with the 56. Now I'm going to use the 56 on the smokestack, probably from this ring that I'm touching right now up will be the 56, and that's the one that nobody likes. At a distance, it doesn't look too bad. So yeah, I'm going to have to do that probably off camera, and we'll see how it goes in tomorrow's episode, because I'm going to wind things up here this morning and get this episode uploaded to YouTube. And seems to be going pretty good lately if I upload early. I know I've said that a lot, but yeah, and then we'll look at them in tomorrow's episode and see how I made out. I might do a little bit of videoing and it'll be in the rollback, but at least that's the plan. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.